My name is Andrei Ignatsenko. I'm International Sales Manager at SherpaPharma. And today I would like to speak about digital solutions for environmental monitoring in the pharmaceutical industry. We as a company work with pharma and biotech companies pretty much on a daily basis. And when reviewing the environmental monitoring processes with our clients, we see that there are some common challenges people are facing when it comes to environmental monitoring. And those challenges are typically related to the processes that are manual, they're very slow, time consuming, and inefficient. Also, there are issues that it is really coming from the first point, but there are issues that people have with compliance, with data integrity. The systems that are being used are not always validated. And what it means is that they don't really have reliable information when they need it. And if they have an inspection or an audit, those challenges or those issues are found, and it's not a pleasant surprise for our customers. And then the question is how do we avoid that? How we can fix this? When we work with paper, there are many things that can go wrong. Again, it's all related to this very manual, tedious process. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of room to make mistakes. There are contamination risks if we introduce paper into clean room. And in the end, this means issues with data integrity and compliance. In most cases, what was found is that with this manual paper-based process, it is not 100% compliant, and there are issues to some extent every time and in every case almost. Same for the plates. When we're looking at the process of sampling, for example, and we write manually in plates, many things can go wrong. It's a lot of work. It's easy to make mistakes, all types of mistakes. Sometimes we use the media that was not approved for testing. Sometimes we use the media that was expired. Sometimes, maybe we expose a plate, and then forget to pick it up on time. So many things happen, and there is no traceability because the process is manual. So in the end, it means, again, issues with data integrity and compliance. Finally, when we try to do the data analysis and prepare reports, it also takes a lot of time. I think it's the most time-consuming step of the process. There is no real-time access to data. We were looking at the data, the results that we had weeks or months ago, and there is no real-time access, and we cannot really act in a timely manner if something is not right. We don't know it right away. We know it maybe later when reports are being prepared or we analyze the data. But again, it takes a lot of time. As I've mentioned earlier, sometimes the spreadsheets are not validated, so meaning that it's not really compliant. And mistakes are inevitable. The question is not if we make mistakes, the question is how many mistakes are being made, what's the cost of making those mistakes. Also, another cost that sometimes is being overlooked is the cost of being inefficient. With large volumes of sampling hundreds or thousands of plates, it's literally hours of work that is being spent every day on those activities, and every day it adds up, and at the end of the year we're looking at thousands of hours spent on those tasks. And those are low value tasks. They can be automated. We can spend our valuable time doing something else, something more important. But what we do actually is, we do this manual activities, and we're delaying the product batch release, we're decreasing production capacity. The cost of being non-compliant is also very high. Imagine if we're receiving an 83 warning letter from FDA. It literally costs hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars to an organization. In addition to this cost, there are some other negative consequences that come with this, such as reputation damage, loss of business, loss of customers, all these things that we want to prevent from happening, other than fixing those problems. And the cost of contamination, of course, is the worst. Imagine if we're looking at a sterile product manufacturer, and the product is being contaminated and is released, and then we use this product, and it causes a serious life-threatening condition to a patient, or even kills the patient. In this case, the cost is enormous. It's really astronomical. So again, it's much easier, much better to avoid those problems rather than fix them later. The current regulations, such as latest revision of EU GMP Annex 1, talks a lot about environmental monitoring, contamination control strategy, and what is interesting, it really embraces the use of digital and automated solutions for data analysis, to handle large volumes of data, and to use automated monitoring systems and digital tools to have a better contamination control. Same for PDA Technical Report 13. It's talking about the use of computer-based data tracking system when we handle large volumes of data. So clearly there is more and more focus on digital automated solutions to help us with environmental monitoring. Now, with this being said, I would like to present SherpaPharma, which is a digital environmental monitoring solution made by microbiologists for microbiologists. I would really like to highlight this fact because we're not just a software company that developed the software or this handheld device that you can see on the screen for sampling to enter the information, to enter the data. We're more than that. In our team, we have people with real-life experience working in pharma companies, working in clean rooms, in microbiology labs, who really understand the challenges of our clients when they have to perform environmental monitoring. And with this deep understanding of the process in mind, this solution was created. And here you can see an overview of the SherpaPharma EM process. Basically, the main thing, the main improvement here, you can see that there is no paper. Paper is completely eliminated from the process. Everything is handled through the software. Everything is in electronic form. Sampling plans, sampling sessions are scheduled in the software. Then this handheld device is used in clean rooms to enter the information, perform the sampling, read the results, and then the results are sent back to the software where reports can be generated, where we can analyze the data and make the decisions wisely. Of course, goes without saying, the software is EU GMP Annex 11 compliant and 21 CFR Part 11 compliant. Here you can see some examples of reports, recovery rate report, graphs that display all the samples with greater than 0 CFU, recovery rate limits. On the right hand side you can see recovery rate limits that can be set, and then we are able to see the evolution of our results, our recovery rate over time. Again, the data analysis, the system is using historical data and statistical approach from historical data, where we can analyze and see all the samples that had no growth equal to 0 CFU, samples with greater than 0 samples with results that greater than alert or greater than action limit. And at the bottom you can see the table where system will calculate the mean value, the standard deviation, percentiles, all those statistical parameters that are important for us to really understand our data and set our limits accordingly. And here you can see data analysis again, trends. The trends on the graph, there are two graphs for two different sampling points, and you can see their alert level, action limits in yellow and red colors respectively, and in the green color, green dots, you can see the actual results. And again, this is very, very helpful when we're trying to analyze historical data and review trends. And the idea here is that we can spot potential problems before it becomes a problem, and we can act accordingly. The system has a large database of microorganisms, more than 4,000 species. These can be the identifications when we identify contaminants. They're entered into the system, and later we can analyze by identification. And it's very useful because we can analyze by species, genus level, to see, you know, which microorganisms prevail, where our contaminants primarily come from. Here you can see we can analyze by groups, you know, gram-negative rods, gram-positive cocci, molds, yeast, and other groups. And the system has a knowledge of gram stain morphology, if an organism is a spore-forming or organism or not. And we can see what types of samples these organisms come from, if it's from a settle plate, if it's from active air sampling, if it's from personal sample. So it's very useful to look at the data like that. The system is very open and flexible, with the possibility to create custom alarms and notifications for different scenarios. If you would like to be aware of specific situations in the facility, you can set a rule. For example, if you have a mold growing in grade B area, you can create a rule for that. The system will issue an alarm whenever this happens. Or maybe you have identified an objectionable microorganism, you want to know about that. You create a rule for this situation. Whenever this happens, the system will issue an alert and will send you a notification by email. There's also a possibility to create maps for different rooms, areas, for the whole entire floor plant. And you can see here the different sampling points and different sample types are represented by different colors. When the indicators are green, it means you're below limits. If it turns yellow, you've reached the alert level, and if you see a red indicator, it means you've reached the action limit. So again, you can see the data real time and act immediately. Another thing is that we would really like, it's our goal and vision, to integrate SherpaPharma with other systems. So if you're using any systems for, to identify microorganisms, to read your plates, incubate and read your plates, particle counters, maybe LIMS system that is used in the facility, different software or the hardware that is being used, we are able to connect it to SherpaPharma. So whenever the results are received in those systems, or you receive an information, it's immediately available in SherpaPharma. And back and forth, if the result is available in SherpaPharma, it's sent back to LIMS, for example. So again, the idea here is to integrate it with other solutions available. To summarize, there are benefits of implementing SherpaPharma. Clearly, it will allow organizations to save a lot of time and cost related to those manual processes because we're able to automate them. Data integrity, compliance with regulations, And finally, better contamination control with less errors. So these are the greatest improvements, the greatest benefit of using the SherpaPharma system. If you would like to know more about our solution for environmental monitoring, please feel free to reach out. We will be happy to provide you with more information or organize an online demo of the system and answer any questions you may have. Thank you very much. Goodbye. SherpaPharma is a digital solution for environmental monitoring. It helps streamlining your workflow by eliminating paper-based processes, thus minimizing the risk of a human error and increasing compliance. SherpaPharma is a cloud-based solution. It can be accessed from anywhere, anytime. The software is user-friendly and easy to use. All your data is protected and secured. From sample management to data analysis, interactive maps to monitor your facility or analyzing microorganism recovery rate real-time, generation of reports, or scheduling the necessary sampling sessions in a calendar, all these and other useful functionalities of the software are designed to make the process more efficient. Convenient handheld devices used to perform sampling in cleanrooms. Simply put your unique identification wristband next to the device to log in, then enter your PIN. It is very easy to use the handheld device. To start processing your samples, go to Sample menu and select the sampling session scheduled for today. Then select the sample you would like to take, for example, contact plate. Then scan a plate you're going to use for sampling. After that, take a sample required, for example, using a contact plate. When you're done sampling and ready for the next step, select Start Incubation using handheld device, select an incubator temperature and duration. Then scan the barcodes of the racks ready for incubation. Place the plates containing your samples into an incubator. When it's time, remove the plates from an incubator. For the plates that didn't have any microbial growth, select No Growth on the device and scan plates one by one. For the plates that did have a visible microbial growth, inspect the plates carefully, count the colonies, then enter corresponding results using the handheld device. You also have a possibility of taking a photo of each plate and attaching it to each sample result. All results are instantly transferred to SherpaPharma web software and ready for review. With SherpaPharma, you can process large volumes of data and generate meaningful reports such as recovery rate report, environmental monitoring, and identification reports in a matter of seconds. Learn how SherpaPharma can help streamlining your internal processes when it comes to environmental monitoring. Schedule your free live demo of SherpaPharma today.